Hi, welcome. Simon here. In this video, I'll be replacing a broken screen on a MacBook Pro. So here I have the white screen. It's kind of flicker in the back of the screen. And one way to troubleshoot is you can try to hook it up to an external monitor using a USB-C, connect to an HDMI, and take a look at your external monitor. If it's white, same as your laptop screen, then more likely it could be a bad display on your motherboard. But if the external monitor has perfect display and your laptop screen is still white, then more likely is the screen problem. So I have run the test and I know that the external monitor is working fine. I can see the full display except the laptop. So I'm going to do a screen replacement and hopefully that fixes the problem. Alright, so I'm going to press and hold the power button until the computer shuts off. In fact, I can actually see that the shutdown button is here. And just click it to shut it down. Alright. So let's identify the model here. Take a look at the back of the computer. And the model for this is A1989. So 1989, that is the model on this laptop. I'll be using a Pentalope P5 screwdriver. I'm going to remove all the screws here in the back and get the back cover removed. Now, if you're interested to do the screen replacement yourself, please check the link down in the description below. I'll link it to either Amazon or eBay, where you can find the replacement screen as well as the tools that you need for the repair. So there are 4 screws at the bottom and 2 screws on the top. There are no screws here on the side, but they do have what we call a little clipper that clips onto the side. So you're going to hear that little pop later on. Now I'll be using a metal prying tool. What I need to do is to go in between that little gap. You see how I get in between the back cover, and I'm going to pop it open, and you're going to hear that little pop on the side here, as well as on the other side. And once you hear the 2 little pop, now you can slide the back cover down and to remove the entire back cover. This is the little clipper that clips on to the side of it. And this is where the thing going to slide down or slide in when you install after. Alright, the next step is to go ahead and disconnect the battery. The battery is located right here. What I'm doing right now is just peeling down that little plastic to expose the battery flex cable. I'm going to peel that plastic back slightly a little bit and expose that little clipper. So I'll be using a plastic prying tool to open up the little clipper right there. So there's a clipper that has to be opened up right here. Once you open up the clipper, now you can slide the flex cable to your left to remove it. Okay, once the flex cable is disconnected to the left, we are all set to continue with the next step. Alright, so I'm going to start from the top left and work my way from left to right. I'll be using a Torx T3. This T3 screwdriver is to remove the 2 screws right here. That 2 screws is holding down the hinge, covering up the laptop hinge. What I recommend to do right now is, why don't you take a picture of the entire laptop here. So you want to take a picture, take a picture like this, take a picture of it, go ahead and print it out, use that as a reference, because when you start removing the screws, you are going to put it on the paper, make it as a reference so that you know where the screw is going to go back into it. Next, I'll be using a Pentalope P2 This is the 0.8, that little star-shaped looking thing. 0.8 is to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, which is holding down the Wi-Fi antenna.
I am trying to have my camera not to focus on my hand. I want the camera to focus on the machine. All right, so the next step I'll be using again would be a Pentalope T3. I'm going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. Okay, 6 here at the bottom, 7, 8 on the top with the bracket here. My screwdriver may have been worn out. You may have to use a Torx T4. Let me try using a Torx T4. Because the screwdriver has been with me for such a long time, and what happened is that it may have been worn out with on the size. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys want to double check the size of it. T3. You want to double check the size. Oh, I feel like I'm stripping the screw now. The thing is really tight. T3. So the T3 is the right one. Okay, I'll remove this one here. Remove the bracket and disconnect the flex cable. I have a problem with this screw here. Let me try to oh boy, the screw is stripped. Why do they make it so tight? Oh, thank God I can get in and remove it. So that was it. So this screw right here, it kind of got stripped in a point that almost entirely not usable, but I was able to use a T5 to kind of get a little bit of a grip and unscrew it. So that is not bad. So I'm going to have a missing screw here for that reason, because the screw almost stripped. Okay, I'm going to put this thing away. I don't need that. Continue with the repair. I'll be using a Torx T5. Where's my T5? Okay, T5, and removing that 4 screws here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And that would make the LCD board free to go, just like that. And there's a little tiny T5 screw here holding down the Wi-Fi. I'll show it to you in a second. All I have to do is just to lift this thing up. Disconnect 3 Wi-Fi cable. T5 for the Wi-Fi. Continue with using Pentalope P2, that's 0.8 star little shape looking screwdriver. Remove 6 more screws here holding down the Wi-Fi antenna. Just a quick reminder, if you're interested with the repair, check the link down description below. The cost of the screen probably run you about $180 with the tools, right around that $180 to $200, and that should be total of the amount that you're going to spend on the screen, and maybe about 45 minutes to an hour of your time to get this entire thing repaired. Okay, T8, the Torx T8 is to remove the 3 screws on the top right corner, which is holding down the LCD screen. So go ahead and remove them. And you want to do the same on the left side of it. Alright, so there are 3 screws on the left. Once you're done with that process, we are going to remove the Wi-Fi antenna. So right in the center right here is going to be a little bit clip on where you have to lift it up, and you want to slide the antenna away from you. So this 3 little cable has to go through underneath the heatsink, okay, the pipe, and through the hole to get out on the other end. Go ahead and open up your LCD screen and then slide the connector out, the hinge, slide it out on both sides of it. Once the thing is slide out, you can see that the entire screen just come right off. Okay, so this is the broken screen. I'll put it on the side. This is the replacement screen. It comes as a full assembly. I'm just using my T8 screwdriver to open up the hinge to move it back. Okay, you want to open up the hinge. Now the next step is to make sure that the LCD board and all the cables be sitting above the laptop. So it has to go above the laptop like this. Okay, they have to be sitting above the laptop. Now what you want to do is you want to slide the hinge into the laptop. So kind of holding it at one angle, and slide the hinge back in one side, and do the same on the other side. Slide it in. While you're holding the screen and the laptop, I'm going to look for one of the T8 screw and screw it in, because we need to close the screen in order to finish the repair. So we are just putting one of the screw here to hold the screen. Okay, and I'm going to close the screen down at this point. So when you're closing the screen down, make sure that the flex cable is not pinched or clamp into this LCD. So make sure it's loose and free. Now you want to come back here and finish the remaining 2 screws. The 2 screws on the top right corner and 2 other screws on the top left corner. Okay, once you're done with that process, I'm going to install the Wi-Fi antenna. Make sure your Wi-Fi antenna is going to go in through the hole. So I'm trying to get them bundled up in a straight line. It has to go into the hole underneath that heat sink and come out on the other end. So I can see that I can see one of the flex cable, the connector is out. I'm going to use a tweezer to guide them on top of the motherboard like such. I'm going to guide them to come up, and I'm going to guide this metal piece right here to sit on top of the motherboard as well. So while I'm guiding it through, I'm going to push it all the way in, and once I see they're all in, I'm going to press the one in the middle here to kind of clip that Wi-Fi back together. Okay, now that the Wi-Fi antenna is in, I'm going to work from right to left. This is a 0.8 tiny little screw that is holding down the Wi-Fi antenna. Now, if you have missing screws, to be honest, it's not a big deal, because I don't think you need that many screws to hold down the holding down the Wi-Fi antenna. I think this is way too much of screws, and if you miss some of them, no big deal. There's no interruption on the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth. In fact, I want to throw all the screws out. Okay, so once that is done, I'm going to position the LCD board, and also I'm be using a Torx T5 and get this thing in. Okay. Okay, once I have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws in and lock in the LCD board, I'm going to come back here and finish up the little plastic with the Torx T3 holding down the hinge cover. So that would be for this. And for that as well. Okay, once they are in, let's go ahead and connect the LCD cable. They're kind of like Lego. You just have to position them nicely and they will snap back on very easily. You do not want to force it in. You're not supposed to use force to push things in. Just going to align them nicely, and that should be it. Have the bracket to go on top of it, and use a T3 and get the 2 screws on. I'm having a hard time with that, but be patient and get it on. Okay, now we're going to flip this thing, tuck it underneath. So the thing has to be tucked in and then come back on. So again, like you got to tuck it in. Once you tuck it in, then you got to push it back or bring it back. So for this one, I'll be missing one of the screw. Remember that I almost stripped that screw. So here I'll be using just one. Okay, now the Wi-Fi antenna, the connector, the circle supposed to be sitting on top of each other. So the circle goes on top. All you have to do, make sure you align them properly and then gently press it down. You do not want to force the thing in because that is not how you do it. Okay. Back to the Wi-Fi, all this tiny little screw has to be put back in. Now, if you're still watching the video, I think we are almost done. The rest of it is just a reverse process of putting things back together, and hopefully this video saves you a lot of money. I'm not sure how much Apple would charge for a screen replacement, but with the third-party screen, a little bit of your time, I think you can get the screen repaired for maybe under $200. And if you're interested to do this repair yourself, please check the link down the description below. I'll direct you to either Amazon or eBay where you can find a replacement screen. And again, if this video is helpful, you're able to get the screen replaced, please drop a comment down below and let me know how did you do. If any question, just comment down below. Hopefully I can answer those questions through the comments. So I really appreciate you for liking the video and comment down below. And for those of you who are really showing appreciation, you want to thank me for the work that I do to support my channel and my video, please click on YouTube Super Thanks. YouTube Super Thanks allow you to share your gratitude.
and support my channel. Now the flex cable, make sure that the clipper is open. Once the clipper is open, align the flex cable, push it all the way in, and then close that little clipper down and tape it back down. That is for your battery. Now we have everything installed. Everything is all good to go. Now we are just going to put the back cover together. Here's the back cover. I like to slide it in and install. You got to make sure you align them properly and push all the way in. Once you feel like they reach to the end of the corner, on every corner, press the side clipper, make sure the thing clips, and do not forget to use the P5, Pentalope P5, and to close up the cover. Hopefully this is it. I don't have to have problem with the screen. So since you watched the video all the way at the end of it, make sure you have your adapter ready, because we disconnected the battery for such a long period of time. The motherboard is already drained. It doesn't remember. So you have to have the charger to power up the laptop. This is the only one time you have to do that. After doing that, that's about it. You don't have to redo it again. Okay. So go ahead and get your charger, plug it in. And once you plug it in, the next thing is to try to turn on the computer. I can hear that the laptop just turns on. I just want to make sure that there's no pictures or anything in the background. I do not want to share and show those things. Cover that up. Here we go. You can see that the background is looking good. So that is the forest background here. I don't have a white screen. And I can see that the shutdown button is here. My arrow is here. So there we have it. Screen replacement on a MacBook A1989 from start to finish. Hey, if I save you some money and you really appreciate for this video and my work, please click on YouTube Super Thanks. It allows you to share your gratitude, to show your appreciation that hopefully I save you some money on the repair. Okay, I appreciate you for doing that, and thanks for watching. Until next time, take care and bye now.